What's up, everybody? Welcome to Storm Sessions. My name is Danny Enriquez, and I'm here with the veteran of the Canes defense, Akheem Mesidor. Akheem, how you doing?
Great. How you doing?
Doing good, man. I remember when you came in the portal, man. It felt like yesterday, but now we're 4 years in, man. How you feeling as a veteran of the Miami Hurricanes?
I feel good. I was here Cristobal's first year. I've seen the highs, I've seen the lows, but prepared to see what we can do this season.
I can tell you're getting old because we were talking about Pilates during the break. That's a sign that you're getting a little older.
Yeah.
So you're doing Pilates. What's that going on?
So me and Ruben, and Mo, we went to Pilates for the first time 3 weeks ago because Ruben got invited, and so he invited whoever wanted to come. And it was my first time, and it was pretty cool. It was hard, a lot harder than I expected, but I've done it twice. I'm gonna keep doing it. I fluctuate from Pilates, doing extra D-line work, and swimming on the weekends. So I just need to find time to get back to Pilates.
Yeah, but look, I mean, the veterans are the ones doing it, right? Is that something you found as you've gotten just older in the game, you're learning your body more and not just like, hey, pound the weights, recover, like actually figure out how to do it?
Yeah, as you get older, you start learning what you can and can't do with your body. And also, everybody in the country is doing team organized workouts. So like it might be hard, but it's also the bare minimum that everybody else is doing. So just finding things that you can get an edge helps you get better.
You're trying to show off at the beach a little bit? You're down to 260? What's going on?
I don't really like the beach. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd rather go to the pool, but it does feel good to be able to take your shirt off.
So let's talk all the way back. I was talking with your mom, Carol, great lady, amazing story, going from foster care to having 2 degrees, just a really inspirational story on her end, right? She moves to Ottawa. You're born in Ottawa, got a ton of siblings. Just tell me about what you remember just growing up at a young age.
Growing up I'm not going to sit here and say it was difficult because really I had a lot of fun growing up. Maybe we weren't in the best situations, but I was always outside. I was always having fun with my friends. There was times where things got hard, but I always focused on the positive, really. I've always been a positive person, smiling all the time. So growing up was cool. It's I don't know, it's really just home, really.
So what's a kid like, let's say, young kid, underage doing Canada? Is that snowman? Is that like riding the sled? Like
it's everything. It's from the summer, being outside, going to little small water parks, to riding your bike around, scooting around, playing football in the backyard, soccer, basketball, to being in the fall where all the leaves start falling off the trees. Building up piles of leaves, jumping in the leaves, Halloween, and then going into the winter where you build snowmen, snowball fights, there's snow days, the plows come in, they start plowing the streets. Now you have huge mountains, you're playing King of the Hill, doing ice skating. I didn't really play hockey, but yeah, it's just a bunch of everything, really.
I mentioned you had a ton of siblings, and I try to let myself off the hook, so I want to make sure I get the pronunciations right, but I'll just go through them. You stop me if I'm wrong. Nelisha, Chanelia, Chris and Trevor on your mom's side. Then your dad's side, Nels, Queen, Virael, Stacy, and Nelsda. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
There we go. So shout out to the whole crew. You mentioned some of the positives and some of the childhood memories. I understand you got to deal with a condition at a young age with narcolepsy. Mm-hmm. Just tell us a little bit about what you had to overcome and what you had to deal with that.
Like I never really thought anything of it. Really, I just was falling asleep. You don't really know when you fall asleep. You just fall asleep and you wake up. But my mom always explained to me that I had to fall asleep everywhere, on the stairs. Anywhere, bro. I'll be outside falling asleep at a young age, like eight years old, playing football. If I'm laying down for too long, I'll fall asleep on the field. I'll just fall asleep everywhere. But It really, like now I don't really feel it. I got used to it. When I was younger, like I used to have to go to the nursing office and take a pill every single morning to keep myself up for the rest of the day in elementary school. And even like the doctor didn't even know if I was going to be able to drive because it was severe when I was younger, but it's fine now. It doesn't really affect me anymore.
But one thing your mom said was you play football, like you said, you're falling asleep on the field. But once you switch from offense to defense, it was like, boom, you're loving it. You're feeling energized. Is that how it went?
Yeah, I really didn't like football at first because when you don't play, when you just start playing, they just throw you on the line. So they put me on the O-line and I was 8 years old, 60 pounds, bored as hell. I didn't want to be there. And then they switched me to the D-line. I was still a small D lineman, but I started having fun because now you don't have to depend on anybody else. You just line up and play. And then I still didn't know how to play football. It's really just see ball, get ball. Like I'd line up in a 3-point stance. As soon as the ball was snapped, I'd stand straight up and try to find the ball and run after. I wouldn't get vertical. I just stand up, look for the ball and run after it. So I had fun because it felt more independent. And I felt like I can make a play every play.
And once you switched to defense, were you like a star player on the team, still finding yourself? What was your progression like?
My first year, I was still finding myself. My second year, still, getting a little bit more comfortable. But then my third year on, from like age 10 on, I was pretty solid.
And it was football all the way, right? No like basketball, baseball, hockey?
I played volleyball.
Okay.
I actually love volleyball. Volleyball is really fun. It's actually my second favorite sport. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I tell somebody I played volleyball, they look at me sideways. I don't know. Do you guys have like men volleyball in high school in the States?
Not as much. Definitely women's more than men's. But we have some.
Well, yeah, we had men's volleyball. I started playing when I was in 5th grade and then up until the 10th grade. It's fun. I love it.
Did it help you with football at all?
Maybe not. I don't know.
And you also spoke French, right, in school?
Yeah, I went to a French school from junior kindergarten up until the 8th grade.
Do you ever drop your French down here? Because we got a lot of French speakers in Miami.
Not really. I really only speak French when I talk to my dad or maybe somebody from back home. But like, I don't really practice often, so I'm kind of losing it. I can still hold a conversation, but there's some words that I have to say in English. So I speak like French, English mix.
Your dad is Haitian descent, right?
Yeah.
You ever get any Haitian food here in Miami? It's all over the place.
I have up north. You have to drive kind of far for it though. But yeah, I have. It's cool. It's good.
You know, Wesley Basainth was hyping it up here when he was on his episode. He was talking about the rice. He says the rice is like next level.
Oh yeah, it's the best food in the world.
So you're growing up playing ball. Obviously, Canada, different country, different football culture. What was the football culture like in Canada once you got to high school and it started getting more serious?
It's really, the culture is obviously different. In the States, it's kind of like a lifestyle, depending on where you are. Back home, it's not really that big. There's still a bunch of people who play football. There's still a bunch of teams, but it's not as meaningful, I feel like, because it's different back home. Here, you can change your life playing football. Back home, it's not as big. You can't get a full scholarship. Like there's no full ride. It's only like a partial scholarship. And it's not the biggest stage. Like if you want to play football, people want to play on the biggest stage. So they come to the States, they play college football and then dream on going to the NFL. But everybody still competes. Football is football at the end of the day. People always ask me about like the competition difference and stuff. To me, it's obviously you'll have top tier teams in America, but that's not every team. The majority of teams are pretty normal, regular. So the talent level isn't that much different. I don't think it's different at all, except for the select few. Like when I went from Canada, playing in Canada to playing in the States, I was nervous at first because people always talking about, oh, Americans this, Americans that, the talent is this. Oh, they'll eat you for breakfast, blah, blah, blah. I came to the States, started playing football, man. It was the same thing.
Love it. Go back to your mom a second, Carol. We talked about her just working her way to get all these degrees, working multiple jobs, 5 kids under her roof. What did you see from her and just her work ethic that influenced you?
She's willing to do anything to take care of her of her people, of her family. And I didn't really understand that at first growing up. But as I started growing up, as I started to just step into the real world, the adult world, I started to understand how much she did and how much of a toll it put on her. But at the end of the day, she's willing to do anything to take care of her kids.
One thing she told me was that there were certain people along the journey, we won't name names, but maybe people in schools that were maybe doubting that you could go do all the things you've done in football. And that, you talking to her, it was very much follow your dreams and dream big. Was there some doubters that you could make it out of Canada to now big time college football where you're at now, potentially the NFL?
Yeah, there was some doubters. Like when you live in a small city, well, it's not a small city. In my city, it's not often where you see a bunch of people or you see guys leave and go to the States and do bigger things, right? And there is a lot of people who show a lot of love, but there's also some who doubt and just don't really want to see another person win. So there was definitely that. And also that I didn't have a lot of confidence growing up either. I struggled with confidence. But my mom always believed in me. My coach, Coach Vic, he's really like a big brother to me. He always believed in me, him and his wife, Charmaine. So I had people in my corner. I had the right people in my corner to help me along the way. But there was always like a voice in the back of my head and just a voice of doubt and not knowing if I was actually good enough. But the people in my corner, my mom always told me I was great, always told me I could do this and go play in NFL and whatnot. And then Coach Vic, he always pushed me to just be my best. So I had the right people around me, thank God, and I love them so much. And basically, they're the reason I'm here today.
When did it click for you that, hey, I can do this. I can get out of Canada, play major college football, and then down the road, NFL?
It never really clicked for me until I got my first offer. I got my first offer in 11th grade. So before that, I never really believed in myself, but I've always just went out and worked and then hoped for the best. Because you're never gonna know how do I say this? I didn't believe in myself, but you're never gonna understand what you can do unless you just go out there and do it. Like if you don't work, you're always gonna have that voice in the back of your head, man, what if I did this? I should have done that. Eliminate all the what ifs, eliminate all the should haves, and just do it. And then hope for the best. And that's what I did. And I finally got my first offer. And they just started piling up after that.
And as you get closer to your senior year, more games in America, and ultimately moving to Clearwater. So talk about just that transition as you got older to going across the border, playing more games, and then ultimately moving to America.
That was probably one of the hardest parts of my journey when I went to St. Catherine, which is basically 30 minutes from Niagara Falls. I knew nothing about the school. My mom knew nothing about the school. Coach Vic knew nothing about the school. We just knew that they took their athletes from Niagara Falls every Friday, drove 10 hours to Ohio, and played football, and that's all that mattered. But it was definitely a very hard experience. It wasn't no fancy facilities. It was pretty ran down, but we had to thug it out. There was times where me, one of my best friends, Wesley and Nate, we'd just be on the bus. Like I'd have tears on my face. Like, why? Why am I in this situation right now? When I had friends who were in the States and it looked like they were living their dreams, and then I'm just here on this bus driving back 10 hours back to a pretty bad situation. Like, man, why does it have to be so hard for me? And why can't we just be like them? But then we just kept grinding it out. And I finally made a name for myself. And one of my friends went to Clearwater Academy and he spoke to his coach about me, which then led to me going to Clearwater. And then Clearwater was nice. It was cool. I'm happy I went there. I'm happy I got to play Florida football before coming to Miami. The funny thing is, when I was down there, it was so hot one day. I told myself I will never come to a Florida school. I will never commit to a school in Florida. It's too hot. And then now I'm South Miami, so.
This fall, the Canes are taking over paradise again. Canes Weekend at the Bahamas returns October 31st to November 2nd, right here in the heart of Nassau. Choose your vibe, the bold, laid-back energy of the Point Margaritaville Beach Resort, or the timeless charm of British colonial Nassau. 2 beachfront escapes, 1 legendary weekend. Enjoy special rates starting at just $159 per night. Plus, big-time fan energy, exclusive events, Hurricanes legends, and an unforgettable island-style watch party. Lock it in now at bahamas.com/Canes Weekend. Terms and conditions apply. So at Clearwater, it's an international school, right? Or there's a lot of international students there?
Yeah, there was Canadians, there was Italians, I don't know, other Europeans, I don't know.
Yeah, well, Canada's a pretty diverse country in general, but like going to that environment and seeing all the people from different countries, what was that like?
In Clearwater?
In Clearwater, yeah.
It was cool. In St. Catherine, the school I went to before, was the same thing. We had Canadians, of course, it was in Canada. We had an Italian running back. We had a receiver from Czech Republic. We had just a bunch of different guys from around Europe. So it wasn't really a difference, but it was cool.
And then first impressions of Florida, you mentioned the heat. That's intense.
It was so hot, and then like I'm seeing lizards everywhere and stuff. I'm like, bro, what?
Kind of prepares you for the giant iguanas you see now that you're in Miami.
Man, yeah.
People don't realize that they're not from here. That's like there's like dinosaurs walking around campus.
Yeah, like I'm walking my dog and I see a huge iguana. We're just walking up a tree. I'm like, what?
So you're at Clearwater doing your thing. You get recruited. How does West Virginia come on the scene?
So I went to a camp in Georgia, at Mercer, and Coach Adai, who was actually recruiting me to come here, he was there, and their whole staff was there, and they see me compete, and they were interested in me. So the whole staff just pulled me to the side. I was originally committed to Syracuse, but I was still going to camps and stuff. The whole staff pulled me to the side, and they started talking to me, and I started building a relationship with Coach Adai and Coach Wesley, who was their DC, and they just kept talking to me every day, communicating, building a relationship. And I went on an official visit to West Virginia, and it was cool. It felt good. It felt like home, and I was really comfortable with Coach Adai and Coach Wesley. So I committed, and then I just felt like I needed a different situation. So I hit the portal. Coach Adai was here, and he recruited me to come here, and I knew Coach Adai already well. So there wasn't really a relationship that needed to be built. I got to know Coach Wright, who was the DN coach here. I got to know Coach Joe, Coach Cristobal, and JT. And I came out, I watched the practice, and then I seen the high energy during practice. All the coaches jumping around, yelling, hitting, everything going. It was just wild. And I wanted to come here.
Before we go to Miami, just one thing on West Virginia. For those who didn't see you in high school, you were out there playing linebacker. You played some safety. I mean, very athletic player. I remember watching your film at West Virginia, and a lot of times you were right there lined up in front of the center, like taking on multiple blockers. What was that like for you, just from a football standpoint, being a very athletic player and then taking one for the team and going and playing like a nose guard and doing really well?
So coming into college, the last thing I wanted was an ego. I just swallowed my ego, and I just want to do whatever it took for me to play. All I wanted to do was play, get on the field and play. So my freshman year, I played defensive end, and then there was some package. Like there was a package where I was lined up at Mike, and then we had a stunt in the middle, and then I'd just shoot it and hit the gap, and I got a TFL or a sack off that. So like Coach Wesley used me a bunch of different ways to make plays. And then my second year, he asked me, are you willing to play? No, he didn't ask me if I'm willing to play nose. I told him, I'm willing to play nose. I don't care if I'm 265. I'll play nose. I want to play football. That's it. So I just went in and played nose. It was difficult because some big boys down there, and I'm only 265. But I grinded it out, and it was really whatever it takes to play.
But then now you go back to the recruiting process. You mentioned the connections you had, Coach Adai, getting to know Coach Wright, who was the defensive end coach at the time, seeing the high energy at practice. What were some of your other impressions of Miami just on your visit? Because like, I remember when you came out the portal, you were a hot commodity, probably a bigger recruit than you were coming out of high school because you'd already shown what you can do. So your visit to Miami and just that whole process.
So driving around Miami, of course, Miami is beautiful and stuff, but I really didn't want to think about that. I really just focused on everything that was in this building, from the nutrition, the staff, the weight room staff. When Coach Feld was here, Coach Vic, Coach Irv was an assistant coach at the time, Coach Irv, Coach Eaton. I loved everything. I just loved everything that went on in this building, from the weight room, from practice, from seeing Coach Wright and Coach JT work together in the meeting room, and just Coach Cristobal's vision on what he wants his team to be like. I just loved all of it, and I could see myself playing a big part of it in it.
You had an incredible season your first year. You were one of the best players on the team. Team itself doesn't do as well. Transition year. Now year 2 at Miami, you're coming back with some hype. You had a great year. Team's getting better, and then you have to deal with some injuries. What was that like, going through that adversity of the injuries?
It was very difficult. Again, another hard, very, very hard part in my journey. It's just when you don't get to play the sport that you love and the sport that you've been really playing your whole life, it hurts, and it takes a toll on you mentally. There's times where I would drive to the facility with tears on my face, like, damn, I gotta come in here and just do rehab. I can't play, I can't do anything. Like, why me? Why is this happening to me? There's been so many times where I felt like that, but I just kept coming in, kept working, and kept praying for the best.
You bounced back, really another really good year last year. Team it's just roller coaster type season, right? You're on ESPN all the time, scoring all these points. Defense starts off on fire and goes through some difficulty. What was your mindset last season on the field coming back?
Just play the best football you can. Obviously, don't be too hard on yourself, because it's your first season back after not playing a whole year. Really, it was difficult because I was hard on myself. I can tell myself not to be, and tell myself a whole bunch of things, but I'm a competitor, and if I don't play to what I know I'm capable of, it's always going to be disappointing. But I just wanted to keep going on the field and keep giving it my all.
I know one thing that Cristobal said during that time period was that they got to hold you back in practice sometimes because you go so hard that they worry about wearing you out, and obviously coming off an injury. They were concerned not because you're not durable, it's just because you go so hard. They got to kind of like keep you back. What's that mentality like in practice and everything you do, just going 100%?
I don't like to lose, and I love to compete. So it's hard for me to control my pace when I just want to win. And the last thing, and obviously I want myself to be the best and I want to feel good about myself, but also I never want to let another person be able to put it out there that I don't work hard or that I'm not good enough. Never again. Because I'm not soft. I'll never let somebody tell me I'm soft. I'll never let somebody tell me I don't work hard enough. And I'll never let somebody tell me I'm not a competitor. So having that mindset, it's just hard not to go hard. It's hard not to play it like as fast as you can. And then it hurts sometimes because I'm doing too much and I'll get like a nick or something here and there. But also I can't control it sometimes.
One thing your mom mentioned just since you were a kid is that you've always been a teacher. You like to teach people the right way to do things and the way to go about their business. Now, you being a veteran on this team, a lot of young, talented defensive linemen. Is that a role that you embrace?
Yeah. Because for me, I like to know, like when it comes to a new defense like we just got, I like to know it inside and out, especially the inside the core for the D-line. And then I'm an open book. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I am a student of the game. I want to learn, and I asked JT hella questions. I just want to know everything. And then when it comes to the younger guys, if they have any questions, I want to be able to answer those. Like, I don't like seeing somebody being confused because I know how it feels to be confused. And I don't like that feeling. So why would I want somebody else to be confused? So, like, I like to teach. I like to help guys. And if anybody has a question, I want to be able to answer that.
So the decision to come back this past year, you could have gone pro. You were going to have a chance to play professional football. Ultimately decided to come back to University of Miami. What went into that decision?
It was really the risk reward of coming back was a lot better than leaving. If I would have left, my draft grade wasn't great. I would have been 6'7" undrafted. I come back, I do really good, like I'm expecting to, I boost my draft stock. If I don't do well, I have the same draft stock. So the risk reward it was just smarter to come back. And
also get an extra year education. What are you studying here in UM?
I got a MALS, so Master's of Arts and Liberal Studies. It's cool. I get to have a master's.
Absolutely, man. Running the family now. Now you're carrying on the tradition, that your mom started from an educational standpoint. People, they see all the good stuff. They see you getting sacks on Saturdays. They see all the bells and whistles that come with being a student athlete, but they don't see the hard stuff, times where you're rehabbing injuries or playing through injuries. When you're really at a low point, you wake up, you don't want to go to the early workout, your body's telling you no. What makes you push through and do those things?
As much as I love my city, I love home, I can't see myself going back home and living a regular life. That's not a knock on anybody doing it. I just don't see that for myself personally. I love going home. I love my city. I just can't be there for too long or else I'll start developing the bad habits that I had. Also, I almost quit playing football when I was in high school. And then Coach Vic, he just convinced me to keep going. And then that's why I'm here today. He just told me, and I had to tell guys this today, everybody has stuff they don't want to do. Everybody has things, it may be a little bit or a lot of things they don't want to do, but everybody has certain things that they don't want to do, but they have to because they need to feed themselves and their families. You have to do what you have to do. JT always says, boys do what they want, men do what they have to. So you wake up in the morning, you don't want to come to the facility. You wake up in the morning, you don't want to do rehab. You don't want to work out. You don't want to do anything. You just got to remember that it's not about what you want to do. It's about what you have to do.
20 years from now, long NFL career is over. Where do you see Akheem Mesidor?
I see myself helping people. I don't know in what field. I don't know if it's football. I don't know if it's in the community, if it's in, high school, whatever it is. I just see myself being a public servant.
Yeah. It's like giving back, man. Again, runs in the family. Your mom talking about the special ed and helping those guys, and now you're trying to give back. You thinking like political? You thinking charity? What's that? Or coaching? What are you thinking?
Anything. That's why I don't know. I just know I'm going to be helping people, somebody. I'll be helping somebody.
We're talking about football a lot. When you're not playing football, because I know you guys do get some downtime. A lot of people just sleep because there's so much work between school and workouts and everything else. But what do you like to do when you're downtime?
I like to play video games. It's kind of too much. I like to play video games a little too much. But sometimes I'll step away from video games. I've been fishing recently. Fishing is cool. It's fun.
Where you go?
I just go in the canals. I catch a bunch of peacocks. I was catching peacocks over and over again, and I want to catch something new because I'm always watching these fishing videos. People are catching yellowtails. I think that's what they're called.
Yeah.
They're catching snook and different stuff. So I'm like, I don't want to catch no more peacocks. Too common. So I seen some carp, and it was like this big, huge. And then I didn't know what they ate. So every time I went to the bait shop like 3 times in a row. And then like 2 of those times, I didn't even buy anything. I was just asking anybody in there for like any type of information they can give me on how to fish for carp, how to fish for anything. I just wanted information. I just wanted just help. And then they're like, okay, carp like corn, they like bread,
Yep.
you know, maybe some berries. And then there was a tree right above where the school is, and they would bite out all the berries coming down. So I was throwing in bread, they weren't getting it. I was throwing in corn, they didn't want it. I went to Publix, I got some wine grapes. I threw a grape in there, hit it. I caught a carp. It wasn't huge, it was about this big, but I got it. It was cool. And then I went another day with Artavius Jones, and then I threw a grape in there, and then it was a big boy, but I didn't have a net, and I couldn't flip it onto the land. Broke my line, and he just got away.
You taught me today. I never caught a carp. I always see them. I'm wondering how to catch them. I heard they don't fight as good as their size. You just kind of pull them up, but they're huge.
If it depends how big they are. Like the medium one, the smaller one I got, the fight was okay. The bigger one I got, he was fighting.
All right, Akheem, we got a lot of fan questions. It's like twice what we usually get. So, you're a popular dude here. Favorite uniform combo?
My favorite uniform combo is, we have the white helmet, regular helmet, green top, white bottom, and then white accessories. That's my favorite combo.
There you go. What's something about Coach Cristobal that we wouldn't know?
That you wouldn't know?
Yeah.
Boy, I don't know. I feel like he's interviewed so much that like everybody kind of has a glimpse on his personality.
So what you see is what you get, basically.
You see is what you get. Maybe I need to hang out with Coach Cristobal a bit more. But I don't know.
What's one thing you're working on to improve in your game for the 2025 season?
My twitchiness, and I want to improve my power moves. I really haven't used that many power moves in my career. And I'm a powerful guy. I'm also a bigger D lineman, a bigger defensive end. So I really want to get some power moves in there, along with some finesse.
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie? I'll probably give it to The Wolf of Wall Street.
There you go. There you go. What song gets you hyped when you're warming up on the field?
Sicko by Drake.
Okay. Keeping it Canadian.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about being a Miami Hurricane?
My favorite part? We got some diehard fans. Everybody, you got the guy with the Hulk mask. You got everybody, bro. I just love the fans. Yeah.
It's an international fan base too. I know when I do my show, we got fans from Canada, we got fans from Africa, Europe. It's crazy just how international the University of Miami fan base is.
So one of my friends, his dad owns like basically a chauffeur company. So and my friend works for his dad, obviously. So he drives around, different people, and the amount of people who like talk to him about the Miami Hurricanes is wild.
Does he drop the names?
Yeah. My friend Akheem, he plays for the Hurricanes. Yeah.
Love it. We've talked about a few of these. And the question is about a hurdle you've had to overcome in your football career. Just going back to the story you told earlier about wanting to quit. What was it that made you want to quit at that time?
I seen a bunch of guys around me getting a whole bunch of offers and stuff. And like, obviously, I love those guys. But in my head, I'm a competitor, and I'm like, I can play too. Like, I can do everything he can do or better. Why am I not getting looks? What's going on? So I'm just like, you know what? Maybe it's just not for me. And then Coach Vic came and talked to me, and he just flipped it. And I kept working, and finally things started going my way.
There you go. What's your favorite in-game moment while playing football? So it's like, what's something that you remember from just in a game?
My favorite in-game moment. I'd say my first year here, Clemson. So it was 2022 at Clemson. It was the beginning of the fourth quarter. And right before the fourth quarter, they start playing their hype videos and stuff. And I like it when other people play their hype videos, because the fact of them feeling like they're getting hyped up and the fans getting hyped up, to see us lose, it hypes me up. So then first play of the fourth quarter, strip sack. And then Jay Millie picked it up and ran for like 20 yards.
I remember that. What position would you want to play? I mean, you play a lot of positions right now on the front seven, or you have, but you could play another position. Would you be like Jordan Miller running with the ball there? Like, what would you want to play?
I don't want to play safety. Safety's cool. Little guy. I like to lose about 60 pounds and play some safety.
There you go. What would you say is your biggest accomplishment so far in your life? I know you got a lot to go, but what's something that you're proud of that you've accomplished already?
I think I can't really pinpoint an exact thing, but I'm just being able to help younger guys. Like me and Herbert, we go swimming all the time for extra conditioning and stuff. And I know small stuff like that is going to affect him, like maybe for his lifetime, but as long as it affects him for the next few years in college and everything I do with him, he's able to pass down to a younger guy. That's the best thing for me. Cause like when I was in college, when my first year in college, I was kind of lost. I was trying to find somebody I can call a big brother. There was obviously older guys I was able to look up to, but there was nobody I could really like cling on to and just follow, do everything he does. And as long as I'm able to just change one person's life or help one person and he can pass that down, I'm happy.
Last one. I know you'll play for any team that drafts you, but what's your dream NFL team?
You know what? It's crazy. My favorite teams are all rivals. Bengals, well, we're not going to say Bengals. Pittsburgh is my favorite team, but I also love the Bengals, and I like the Ravens a lot. They're all rivals, but I like them all.
So you're trying to get back to the cold then. You're getting your jackets back.
Yeah, it's cool. I'd like to play for Tampa. Tampa's cool, or Miami. I really don't have, like, East Coast. We'll just say East Coast or, like, anywhere in Texas.
There we go. Remember to like and subscribe to Storm Sessions on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify for more great interviews like this one right here with the vet, Akheem Mesidor. Akheem, man, I really appreciate you.
Thank you.